I'm actually kind of surprised that there are headphones that fit your ears in there so comfortably. You know?
I don't know what just came out of my mouth there. That was good. They are tucked quite in there. Like you really gotta like, you gotta like put it into the back of the headphone. And
for those of you on HD TVs, what a view that was.
I'm sorry. We're gonna start the podcast like that. Welcome back to the B&B podcast. Oh Jesus. I don't even know what we're starting with. I'm kind of lost now, but
do you see me right now? This is like a child's jersey. Look at that.
You got a lot going on. He's got the Dallas.
This is actually how far the sleeves go. That's no joke. This is
see that? That's my shirt supposed to fit. Like that. Where
you know
the arms go, I can do that with mine.
It's because I got something to show. No, that's crazy.
Stop in the gym.
I have not.
Well then,
They're open now though.
Oh, good. Hey,
I know. See?
Yeah, welcome back. We've just been. We're actually doing great. This is like 4 podcasts in 4 weeks, is it not?
Yeah. I just want to say to you, your tip about Twitter was fucking amazing. I'm feeling way better about myself.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody.
Thank you if you followed Brandon on Twitter.
Right.
We really appreciate it.
We
now he feels good about himself.
Yeah.
Guys confident.
I'm almost at 200 over like 2 days.
That's actually really quick.
We're flying.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Olympics have been on. Have you been catching the highlights? I know you're not watching live, but
so I've been catching a lot of the actually I watched back some of the games.
Yep.
Like for those like deeper highlights, but
right.
I guess I saw like the snowboarding highlights. I saw the snowboarding highlights, which were pretty good. Hello.
What a weird competition too, like just the way everything went down. Very strange.
Yeah, and then I get the updates about like the team stuff. The curling I heard that we were out of, which is kind of upsetting.
Did you see it too?
It was like I heard it was a fraction.
It was they lost by a millimeter in the extra end.
That's right.
Like absolute heartbreak for Holman and Morris. Like they shouldn't have beat Italy anyways. Italy's disgusting. They were walking through that entire competition. Yeah. But like the fact that they get that close and miss it by that, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's just like a good old Canadian heartbreak, you know?
Yeah.
It's like sitting back there almost watching the Leafs having like having a lead on Boston, and you're sitting there and you're like, there's no way
it's coming.
Yeah. And then they score and you're like, there's no way they blow this. And then they tie and there's no way and then you see it.
And then they blow it.
Yep. You see the Jake Gardner clear and that's it. Everybody just put their drink in their hand and said, well, cheers. There it is.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel bad for them, but hey, hell of a run. They just couldn't really get it together. And there were times when they looked magnificent. Like the fact that they were even in that game to begin with was incredible. And
man, I've grown such like a admiration for curling. You know?
I could not curl ever. Like there's no chance in hell would I ever be a good curler.
I couldn't even get past the balance part. And then you think, oh, well, I can go to sweeping, but like think about what you're asked to do. You're asked to
going
move,
sideways,
sweep, and also not hit that rock, this rock.
Yeah, you have to pay attention to what you're doing. I don't know. I can't.
Insanity. It takes years.
Good for them.
These headphones could be
hell of a run. Hopefully the men and the women teams actually have a shot of winning this thing. But good for what do you call it? Holman and Morris. They made it close. It was fun.
Yeah.
But we finally have our first gold in the tournament. So shout out.
Which is does that sound weird to say that? Am I have a misunderstanding about Canadian gold?
We haven't really had any of our bigger events for the most part. Like
I think Vancouver was just so hyped that
I think Max Perot and Mark Mcmorris were the first two that you're looking at as legitimate gold medal contenders.
Right.
Everyone else, like what's her name there? Isabel, forget her last name. The speed skater.
Oh,
like she had a chance. I don't think she was considered the favorite at all. But like in the slope style for snowboarding, like you knew Mcmorris just came off his gold medal at the X Games. So like he was legitimately a favorite to win that medal. And Perot, like I don't think he's been as successful, but like he's still thrown it down in the past. And like there's always a chance that he could contend. So I think that was the first time this Olympics that I felt like, hey, we're probably going to come away with one here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyone can sneak in and take one at any point in time, obviously.
Came away with two.
Yeah. The Dufour Lapointe, I don't know actually the last part. Lapointe, I think it's Lapointe. Sisters, Chloe and Justine, they had a chance. And then I think it was Chloe that fell. or Justine. One of them was in the finals and fell and blew it, but I think she also had a chance of going for gold. But yeah, the first one comes to Max Perot, and that is the coolest story you'll ever hear.
Oh my gosh, man. I was listening to that this morning and I'm pretty sure my mouth was just wide open the whole time. Yeah.
Good on both of them. Like
absolutely.
Max Perot's story, unbelievable. It's like it's incredible that he came back from that. But even Mark Mcmorris to come back from what he came back with, like that man almost died.
So I first saw Mcmorris in an interview and he was listing all of his injuries. And it kind of just made me think of like, okay, you're Inspector Gadget because you just put together with like whatever you can get.
Yeah.
There's no way that you're human still. Right. But you know, there enough he is. And then you have another story on top of that from a Canadian. So to have both of them in, you like no matter who came out on top, you're still in full support, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy for either one of them.
Yeah. Both of these guys deserve to have a medal and to be, you know, as known as they are, and good for him for getting our first gold.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I want you to explain the story because I'm sure you're
man. So I'll get to Max Perot because obviously that's the bigger one, but just quickly on Mcmorris, he in the back in 28 or just after the 2018 or before the 2018 games, he had a fractured jaw, left arm, ruptured spleen, a pelvic fracture, rib fractures, and a collapsed left lung after he hit a tree. Oof. Like that's just to come back 4 years later and do what he did, just incredible. Good for you, man. Great. That got overshadowed though.
Oh,
Max
it did.
Perot. Max Perot had a battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma in what, 2018 was it?
Yeah, I think he was diagnosed in 2018.
So it would have. I think it was just after the Olympics in 2018.
It was December 2018. I think it was when they got.
So then it was the year of the Olympics, but. So yeah, he gets diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he goes through 12 rounds of chemotherapy, which that's a lot. I know personally, my mom went through 8. She was telling me, and watching what it did to her was just painful.
Yeah,
imagining going through 4 extra rounds of that, it's just
like yeah, man. And now think about it, like 3 years later, I guess after you've kind of been through the thick of it, like you're now competing at the highest level of competition, right?
Yeah.
And especially in the sport that he's in, like that requires so much from your body, right? That I don't think that we all fully understand. You know, those of us who snowboard for sure.
Snowboarding's hard as it is.
Right.
Like,
and then you're doing with these
going
guys
to snowboard.
Exactly. And then you're doing what these guys are doing, and you realize, like, you know, there's a reason why you're one of the select few that are there representing us.
And he did that. It's 3 years after 12 rounds of chemotherapy.
Absolutely. So incredible. I think that just goes to show the fight that you know this Canadian has, for sure. That's just how they are.
He embodied the spirit of Canada for a little bit.
They both did, and I think they both deserved the medals that they got, you know.
Unbelievable run from both of them. Now, it was a weird competition. Like Max Perot threw down, don't get me wrong, I think he was great. The guy that came second, I think he was the Chinese guy. I don't remember his name, but he slaughtered his second run, just like threw down, stomped it. I'm like, this guy's got the gold. Like that was ridiculous. The commentators going nuts, the crowd's going nuts. I'm like, he's got the gold. He's walking away with this. I'm like, shout out Max Perot, but we're watching a Chinese gold medal here. And then he didn't even come close with his second run. Like he was like sitting in second by like 8 points. I'm like, what? I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
The judges did, or the commentators didn't know what happened. I'm like, okay, cool. And then Mark Mcmorris gets his shot in the third run, and I thought he crushed it. I don't know a lot technically about snowboarding, but I know a lot of people have been worked up about how it all went down. But watching Mcmorris, like he just threw down, and even the judges are like, this might be enough to get him gold, like at least competing for it. And he finished in third, and it was just like, what are we doing here? Like it was kind of weird.
I feel like I want to understand more of it.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't know enough. Like I know what they did is difficult.
It's
not what all of them did was difficult.
Yeah, and it's not about what looks coolest to us. Like I feel like a lot of it has to do with like the flow of the run, the technical aspects of landing. How you look in the air, right? Like I kind of relate it to figure skating in a way. Like if a figure skater's arms are like flailing out and it looks weird, they get deducted points, right? Or if you land not exactly where you're supposed to land, like
Yeah, I think McMo came off the one rail early or something they were mentioning, so that might have deducted a little
Right. You
bit.
know what I mean? Like, I think you have like your almost like your set list of I'm gonna do these,
Mhm.
and you need to do these to full completion. Otherwise, they'll say, oh, you know what, you cut the move short, right?
Sure.
Even though you went
Sure.
95% of that rail,
Yeah.
there's 5% left. You got to take it all the way, right?
Now that's what they were saying too, is like it seemed like the judges in that one were going for like perfection of the run, not necessarily the difficulty of it, because what Mark Mcmorris and the Chinese snowboarder did were like way more difficult than what Perot was doing. But because they were a little more shaky on it, I guess they gave Perot the run. I'm like, hey, I don't care either way. I'm happy that Perot got it. I would have been happy if he finished second and the Chinese guy finished first, or Mcmorris finished first. Like, really didn't matter to me. I'm like, it was really cool to see both those guys up there, but just strange controversy coming out of there.
Okay, I could get this totally wrong.
Okay.
This is how it looks to me, though.
Okay.
Su
Yep.
Yiming.
I think it's Yiming.
Yiming.
Yeah.
Yiming. See, there's my Canadian putting all of it together.
All right.
Su Yiming.
It definitely, I remember them saying Yiming, so that makes sense.
Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, he stomped it, man. I was watching his run.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this guy might have just crushed
yeah.
Perot. And then he came in like 6 or 7 points lower, and I'm like, oh, okay. I know nothing about snowboarding.
Right. No, I know.
But like, but the commentators were confused too. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm on to something. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, I'm on to something.
Like, it just seemed like they both crushed it. Like, even Mcmorris, I'm like, wow, that was really good. I'm like, I caught the tail end of Perot's second run, the one that he got the highest score on. Okay. I'm like, yeah, it was good, but it was like, I think both the other two were better personally. But what do I know? I've snowboarded, but I've never done that shit.
No,
that much.
I
do not have the nutsack for that.
Yeah, no, I think I've taken a rail or two in my day.
I didn't try that.
Oh yeah,
I like my brain the way it is.
Yeah, no, we actually than it is. We built one up in the backyard. We just built a little hill with a little rail, so you take it for like 5 seconds. It's whatever. It's not that.
And then you crash at the end because
if you need to. But yeah, it was not that.
It was definitely not what these guys are doing. The course they had there is like set up so cool. It's like they built it to look like the Great Wall of China, which is unreal.
Amazing.
The one guy literally jumped off of the cutout piece. I don't know what to call it, but it's like the square at the top of the wall. He jumped off of that to start his run. I'm like, that's so cool.
Good thinking. Yeah, creativity. I'm sure is one of them, right? Like you.
Yeah, they've done some really cool shit in China so far. So shout out to them. Absolutely. Also in the Olympics.
I was going to say the craziest thing about the Olympics right now is what's happening on the women's side of hockey.
Oh my God. That's what I was going to get to anyway. So good.
Right. Job. Absolutely.
So in case you missed it, Canada played Russia, not last night, but the night before. And they were out there for warm-ups. Everything was good to go. And then all of a sudden Canada just left the ice, which at the time you're like, what's going on? I wasn't watching the warm-ups, but then someone's like, oh, it's delayed. I'm like, okay. So I kept watching snowboarding and just went to the game after. But when they clicked over to the game, they told everybody that Russia failed to return their COVID tests, or they refused to return their COVID test.
I think one of them was inconclusive or something. Yeah.
Apparently, they just wouldn't turn in their test.
I kind of read into it. Yeah. And I think there was just maybe inconclusive tests.
Right.
And so Canada said, we're not going to play originally, right? They were going to reschedule it.
I don't even know what their original plan was, but at some point, the plan came to be that they said Russia needs to wear masks, and Russia's like, we're not playing with masks unless you wear masks. So both teams ended up wearing N95 masks under their cage, which, like, hey, cool, but damn, that's gotta suck.
Oh, I'm
those
sure
things aren't comfortable on the best.
No,
imagine like sweating underneath that. I'm like, hey,
yeah,
they gutted it out.
I watched one video of the semi-professional ultimate frisbee because there's one team in a dome, and that when this first started they had to wear masks. It was the weirdest thing ever, and I couldn't imagine actually playing with a mask on. So now even hockey too, I was like, I could not imagine that at all. I could not picture it. I feel like it would be so difficult,
but they did it. I thought it was weird because like I've seen the Easton ones that like attach to your cage and it's like a covering. I'm like, cool. Those are throw on like legitimate N95 masks, and I'm like, damn, okay, that's.
I don't think the other ones are certified yet, are they? Like, are they? No, exactly. So
they don't actually do much.
I think that's what it is now.
It was the better play. It was the right thing to do, and like, I think this will be really neat for just like a political world here, where we see whether or not it actually makes a difference. Because Russia ended up having 8 players test positive for COVID. Dude,
they had that today, right? Like,
yeah. So one of them tested positive after the game with Canada, which I heard that last night, and then 7 more for a total of 8 tested positive today.
And they still played Finland, who
Finland
also
all played with their masks too.
Yes, for sure. So I guess you're gonna really see, do the masks work?
Yeah, exactly. This is kind of like, this is either gonna like spark controversy if it doesn't, and the crowds over in Ottawa are gonna go nuts and start breaking things.
Could this not,
or it's gonna give us another leg to stand on?
Could this not potentially shut down the Olympics? Like if this spreads,
because I'm concerned.
It's like an Olympic village, right?
I'm concerned. Yep.
Russian female hockey team,
they're not confined to their rooms.
Like, doesn't just hang out alone. There's an Olympic, like, you know, yeah, they go out.
They literally have like this pin trading thing. It's kind of cool. The pins that they're trading around, they're pretty sweet. But like, you know, back when you go to like hockey tournaments and they give you like a set of your own pins and you go trade it with other teams, they're doing that in the Olympics right now.
So they're passing around COVID in each pin. You know what I mean? Like, might as well just put it in a little vial and send it out to them.
Right. So it's a little bit concerning that 8 of them have tested positive right now, because I wouldn't really care. Like I'd feel bad, obviously, but I wouldn't care as much if they didn't just play Canada.
I also don't think
into the medal things now.
Yeah. I also just don't think it's going to be this team. I don't think it's going to be just this sport. I don't think it's going to be.
Oh, it could be a big issue, obviously.
Yeah. This is going to be bad. This could send a huge catalyst through Olympics.
We'll see who got around to the Russian.
You know what, though? I'm very happy that the women wore the masks, especially I think in the third period too. Russia came out, they took them off. But they got their negative test back and they said we're allowed to go, right? And Canada said we're going to keep them on. So
thank God.
For all the people out there who you've got your difficulty breathing,
quote, you got difficulty breathing. Let's not give them credit.
We call it having your dick out, where you're walking around like
your nose hanging out.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we call it having your dick out, like so I can see your dick. You know what I mean?
Same idea. Yeah.
Just note that Olympians went and played a competitive game that actually meant something. The entire
slaughtered them in a competitive game,
right? But I guarantee you, they were 10 times more active than any person staying there complaining that they can't breathe in these masks. Like
when you go to Walmart and try and find your food.
Do not give me that stuff.
Yeah,
come on, this is ridiculous.
Yep.
That's ridiculous.
I might start using that as a thing. I might start telling people to put their masks on at the arena now, just so I can use that as an argument. It's like,
people did. I know people did.
There's an entire team fucking played 2.5 hours with it.
How is it at the arena with that stuff? Like, is it? I'm sure it's nuts.
It's not awful. Like, I don't know. It's one of those things. Like, I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this way, but like a lot of the times, you look at people that just like refuse to wear their mask. I'm like, man, it's not worth my time.
Oh,
I'm not getting paid any extra right now to tell these people to do something, and I'm not going to bother.
No, and I guess in the same sense, like you are already protecting yourself with yours. So if somebody doesn't want to have theirs, and like then whatever,
it's whatever. But the one thing is, like, when people come into the arena, I am so sick of hearing people come in and go, "Oh, I bet you're sick of this," because I'm not. I'm like, I get why we're doing it, and it's really not that hard. I scan a QR code and I send you in the building. I'm sick of hearing the question because everyone says the same goddamn thing. If you just walk in, show me your code and walk, it takes no time. It's a 3-second.
I didn't even realize that you actually needed the code to get in. I forgot about that. That's how long it's been since I've been to arena.
Yeah, so it's pretty much everywhere now. You need the QR code to get in, and like some people don't have it, which is already a pain in the ass. I'm like, all right, just get it for next time. But like when people do come in and they have it, like they're not avoiding. So
can you have
but they just want to be
paper printout?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then absolutely scan that.
I had someone the other day, they were arguing. They're like, oh, my parents are old. How are they going to do this? They don't really use their phones. I'm like, well, how did they do it before we started using the QR code? She's like, well, they had the sheet. I'm like, okay, well, print off the QR code and bring it in like that. It's no different.
No,
it's the same concept. I'm like, this is not a difficult thing. I don't need to have your problems right now.
You know, it's funny too.
Like, just show me the thing and walk away.
Their follow-up thing would probably be really too old to do that. They don't have a printer there. Oh, guess what? Smart ass you do.
They straight up said, they're like, well, they're old. They really don't know how to use their phones. I'm like, okay, they know how to use a printer.
Also,
they knew how to print their last sheet.
Great thing they have a capable child like you.
Yeah, isn't that cool? You have yours.
You look pretty techie. You figured yours out on your phone. I'm sure you can figure out the print setting.
It's painful, man.
I know, man.
So the people like that make this significantly worse than it needs to be. Because, like, I am not a part of the decision-making process in what I have to see from you.
No,
I just get paid to say, hey, show me this and get the fuck in there.
Yeah, and like it's so funny. And actually, this guy I work with, he walked in to Home Depot, totally forgot. They didn't have it on. He's like just talking to somebody, and he goes, "Oh shit!" halfway through, and he's like, "I'm so sorry." Like he actually just legitimately forgot.
I've
And
done that,
but the employee said, "I can't tell you any different." They're like,
no,
"They've told us that it's not worth our time, and it's not worth the safety risk." And it's like, is it really that sad that it's a safety risk now to tell somebody to do something that they should already be doing?
We were told the exact same thing. Like back when the whole thing started, they're like, "Listen, if people come in without a mask, just don't bother. Like it's not worth your time." Exactly. I'm like, fair. They're like, if someone comes in with it on and they're not wearing it, then like you can tell them to pull it up. But even then, it's just like it's just not worth it. And I'm like, why do I want to get into the hassle for no extra pay? I'm getting paid the exact same as I was before the pandemic started. What's the difference?
No.
Like if you want someone to do it, hire a security guy. That's what they're for.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. They can enforce that, right?
Yeah.
Have bylaw come around.
They're supposed to.
Right, but have bylaw come around, start issuing out tickets for everyone who doesn't have a mask.
Yeah, exactly. Like have someone in that's actually built for that. I'm not built for that. No. I'm a friendly-ish person. I don't really like to confront people when they're already angry and already have an opinion on this. And like we already have very differing opinions. I'm like, I'm not.
Dude, it's been such a different work industry for me. I know this has nothing to do with sports. We're kind of just rambling on that. But it's been such a different industry since leaving the rink for me.
Yeah.
Like it's just like you don't deal with any of that. No. I mean, like the people there are just
that is the one downfall of the wearing field. It's like you always get those some people that are just worked up as it is.
Yeah, like it's a game, and it's a game we love. It's a game we love to watch. It's a game we love to play in. So don't bring all this anger. No. Why is it stressful? Why is it something that like we take so to heart and so like you can be competitive. Yeah, but you can be over competitive.
Absolutely. Like, you don't have to let it affect your day. Like, who cares?
Exactly.
I love being there and being completely neutral in games because, like, there was a AAA game that came into town the other day, and I was there for it, and we sat and watched because it was the last game of the day and have to take any vaccines. I'm like, perfect. So we were just sitting there watching it, and there was this dad there, and I watched this one play happen, and the team straight up like full 2 fists to the face on this kid, like cracked him in the jaw on the way by. I'm like, ooh, that's got to be a penalty. One ref raises his hand. And then as he gets by that guy, this other kid sticks out his knee and trips the kid. I'm like, ooh, that might be one too. And the other ref raises his hand. They get them both. It's a 5-on-3. One was a 4-minute, but it's a 5-on-3. I'm like, well, yeah, that's the right call. And then you hear the one dad from the team that just got the 2 penalties. And he is screaming at this ref about, way to go, Homer. It's like, no, man, he made the calls.
Like $5 said that guy pulled his mask down too to yell at, hey, fucking Homer.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? Just this old ass dude just like yelling through his mask. I'm like, buddy, like I understand that your kid's on the team. I get it. However, he made the right call. And I'm like, I don't give a shit who wins this, but both of those were penalties.
Yeah.
It is what it is, man. I'm sorry it happened. And they ended up getting scored on to tie the game, but they won anyways. I'm like,
yeah,
you're getting worked up for what? For the right call. I'm like,
I don't know where the listeners live, but remember when all the parents had to go and one of the parents had to go take a course on how to be a fan? You had to pay. And you know what's funny? All the people started complaining. Why am I going to pay for this course? I'm an excellent fan. And you know what? That is the exact person that is yelling.
You're why, man.
Their ass off. Yep. When your kid is playing, like it doesn't make any sense. Dude, it makes no sense. I remember once I walked by this dad and he's yelling at a 12-year-old and I said, pardon me. And he goes, I'm not talking to you. I said, no, I know. I go, that's the sad part. And he just like stops for a second. And I go, that kid's 12. I go, I'm 20 because I was 22, 23 at the time. I was like, I'm 23.
And I understand.
I go, you can yell at me. I go, I'm a man, you can talk to me like that. I go, that's a kid.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of stopped. I go, I hear one more outburst, sir. I go, I will personally walk you out that door. Like we will head out. And then I saw the ref toss him like 10 minutes later. And I was like, there's no way that you just like,
it's so funny.
It didn't sink in.
Parents just love to get mad at things. Like the both goalies on those teams were like kicking off the net because they just push off hard. Honestly, the pegs that we have, not good. You remember them?
No,
not good. So like they knocked the nets off.
By the way, those pegs are 20 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those.
They haven't gotten new pegs in years. But pretty much every time there was an offensive opportunity, the net would come off. So the parents were just snapping. They're like, "Oh, this is garbage," and some of them are getting mad at us. I'm like, "What the hell do you want me to do?" I'm like, "I can't flood the ice any differently." I'm like, I'm not going out there with a drill trying to fucking put these things in the ice. Like, nah, man.
What is that gonna do?
But then they're getting mad at the kid and mad at the ref. I'm like, what are we gonna do here, man? Like, it is what it is. The goalie's just doing his job. like, this
email his boss, okay? I know his boss. All right, you email his boss that they need some new pegs, and you see how high on the priority list that is.
Yeah, it's not. They don't. It doesn't matter.
You're not the NHL.
All in all, it's a game. These were like 18U kids, so they already missed their window of getting drafted into the OHL. It doesn't matter.
Like, either way, your first point,
relax.
You could have ended it there.
It's a game.
It's a game.
Even in professional sports, it's a game.
Just have
fun. Enjoy it.
What do they all say? What is the first thing that an NHL star will say? Why do you play? For the love of the game.
Yeah.
So fucking play.
Some of them say for the money.
Right. They're probably American, but anyways.
Speaking of Americans.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did Canada have a good time against the Americans?
Dude, 51
we
saves.
We got slapped. Like,
hello.
All in all, Canada didn't. They got outplayed in that game, and they should have lost. Is it Debian it was Debian that played last night? Right?
Yeah,
I forget her first name, but she was phenomenal last night. Without her, we lose that game about 7-3, maybe. Like, she made like 14 10-bell saves just like every single play. It's just unbelievable work, which is out of the back end,
which is awesome. Like, I would love my goalie to be my best player every single game.
Absolutely,
like, for sure. I'm in.
Absolutely. It's cool because like she's great, and then behind her you have Emirates Mashmeyer, who's just as good, but like is the backup, and it's just the way it is sometimes in hockey. And what are you gonna do? But what a fun rivalry that game is. Every time they play, I'm hooked. Like, Canada USA women's hockey is just like, there's not much better than that rivalry in sports. Like, just in general, like there's not many other games that you watch where you're like, wow, this is incredible.
They turn it up an extra
different level,
like just to an extra level there for sure. Yeah. And who knows, like, you can say because of the lack of parity within the organization, but like at the same time, you got to recognize real, like that's some
incredible,
deep rooted shit. That almost feels more of a rivalry than in men's hockey. You know what I mean? Like, there is a rivalry. I felt like this rivalry was there because obviously it was the gold medal game, and obviously it was in Vancouver. You know what I mean? But it was more of a setting.
That was like,
it was a setting. It was the fact that it was the last medal.
It was a gold medal game.
But it was the last medal of the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like, Canada was going to get the gold, and it went to overtime. Like, you know what I mean? That circumstance
way different. This is a straight up preliminary game between two teams that really, this game means nothing. They're both going to the next round.
They go to war though.
But it was a battle, and it just feels like everything there is so personal for everyone.
Right.
And like, there's so much hatred. I don't know if there's hatred off the ice, but there just seems like there's so much hatred. Like, you've got Natalie Spooner going by and snowing the goalie, and everyone getting pissed about it, and she's just laughing in their face.
But like, you know what though? They're able to keep more of a level head, that then it's like, you know what, we're going to take it out in the game then by like scoring on you, or by
like they want to beat you.
They remove the NHL's aggression, or the male aggression, where it's like, you snow my goalie, I'm going to kick your ass. Like,
they don't need to punch your teeth.
No. And that's the thing, right? Is that when you watch that, how many times does a scrum happen? Like, scrums still happen.
Yeah.
They look very different, like, you can call a baseball like fight not a fight, or like when they all leave the dugout, it's like, it's still kind of a bit of a scrum because they're still getting face to face, right? The NFL has little scrums where they just like get in each other's faces,
kind of shoving back and forth. It's the same thing.
Exactly. It just looks different based on the setting, but like they're still competitive. You're right, like they want to win that game no matter what. That is always a must win. Cool. You circle it.
Absolutely. I'll watch that game every game of the tournament.
I would love a 7-game series.
Oh, for sure.
I would.
They tried. They did that little rivalry series. Like, and I think that helped. Like, doing that little series and not getting to finish it to see who wins it. Just coming into this, just like already pissed off from the other games you've played. And you come into this game and it's just like, Canada's pissed because the last Olympics they beat them. And USA is pissed because they just beat them at the World Championships. Like, it's so fun watching them. I am so excited to see them go back at it in the hopefully.
And it's like, it's nice to see not only it's the same old players, but now it's the other players, like the new players getting involved.
Yeah. Dude, Sarah Fillier is taking over this tournament.
The new faces are coming in saying, look at me, I'm part of this now. We
recorded our last podcast after game 1 of the women's side of things.
2 there.
Sarah Fillier got 2, and we're like, wow, look at this girl. She's got 5 now. Did she score last night? No. I think last night was the first time she didn't score.
Okay.
She's got 5 goals in 4 games and like I think it's 8 or 9 points. And she's dominating. Like, they're not just like, oh, she's just tapping in goals here and there. Like, she is ripping things from all over the ice and like scoring every which way she can. Unbelievable. And she's 21 years old. It's oh my God.
It looks so good.
Oh my God.
It's super impressive to watch.
And then Marie-Philippe Poulin just like was kind of irrelevant for 3 games or whatever it was, and then shows up in that USA game and just takes over again.
Okay,
the captain clutch scores on the penalty shot. Like, she's back.
Hey, I found your Sidney Crosby.
Yeah,
right there. Okay,
yeah.
Are you gonna tell me Sidney Crosby is somebody you know on the team? No. If she wants to show up in the games that matter, for sure. You know what's great,
bro?
You still won the last 3.
Mm-hmm. She didn't need to do anything.
No, that is a team player right there.
She does a lot away from the puck. Like, I shouldn't belittle her that much. She was really good away from the puck.
It's not nothing.
But just didn't do anything on the score sheet.
It's a stat nothing, right? Like there's intangible things that are
it's
never
nothing
going
for
to
her.
show up, right?
She just has such a high standard set.
But they're intangible things. Like, there are things that she does on the ice that you cannot take away from the team.
Yeah.
And that will never show up on a stat sheet. You know what I mean? That will never show up when you look down and say, oh, here's all of her stats. Here's her records. Things will just never show up. You know, her defensive ability, her ability to even read plays.
Yeah.
Like, she's that vision. She has that elite vision of almost seeing like, okay, if this pass goes here, that one's there. Like, it's gone. We're gone, you know? Like, she just picks it up so fast. She's in an extra level with this game.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And Renee Davian. I just wanted to like fix myself on that.
Do you think?
I'm a little embarrassed. I didn't remember her first name.
That's okay.
I knew it was Davian, but I didn't know her first name. And Renee.
You know
Davian. Okay. Goalies are national heroes nowadays. Like, we had Steph Labe in the women's soccer. She like just beast mode and stopped everything.
The Canadian soccer
Borjan in the Canadian soccer. I won't forget that one now. Borjan. And now Debian in this tournament. Like, just goalies are national heroes all of a sudden. Like, they're just winning medals and doing their job better than anyone can. It's so cool.
Oh, it looks so good.
I'm really excited. I don't know when their next. I'm assuming their next game is probably tomorrow. I don't know who they play. I don't really care. They're going to win until they get back to the U.S. anyways. I am concerned, however.
I had the Olympic site up, and it didn't say anything. So I like closed it, and I was like, I don't need this.
I am a little concerned with how they're going to do against the States in the finals, because they didn't deserve to win that game.
Okay,
but I think if you come with that same effort, it's going to be very concerning.
You learn from it.
Yeah.
You know, and
but so does the U.S.
Oh, for sure.
It'll be a really good game either way.
You know what? I think you're in their kitchen at least.
Yeah.
I think you're like right up in their minds, you know, and that's all you need. You need a little bit of, fine, put them as the underdog. They want that.
Sure.
Because again, look what they just did as the underdog. I'm sure 7 out of 10 sports writers would have said that US is walking away with that one, right?
Yeah. I think that's the thing with that rivalry is you never know.
No,
you never know. They're such an equally matched team that even when the game's like a blowout, you never know who's going to win.
But that's the thing, though, is like 5-0 could literally mean nothing. Like 5-0 could be the score, and it could mean absolutely nothing. If you told me it was 4-2 and one goalie saved 51 shots, I wouldn't tell you it was the team that won. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like 51 shots. I would almost think it's the other way because it's like, oh, you got 4 goals. Yeah, okay, so you peppered them with shots. Unreal. No.
Unbelievable. I'm so excited for them to go back at it.
2 goals. Like wicked.
Crazy. I don't think anything else has happened. I'm really excited to see the half pipe coming up because this is Shaun White's last Olympics, and I think that's tomorrow. But they're at like 8:00, which is great. It's 8 p.m.
Oh, I love it. It's nighttime. It's
great. Like, I can actually watch that, and I don't have to fall asleep at the end of it.
There are some night games. That's right. Yeah. There's some night things.
I'm really excited. It should be fun. That's it from Olympic coverage. Can we talk about baseball? Like, actually talk about baseball? I don't want to talk about the lockout.
What do you want to talk about baseball?
The Blue Jays. I'm just going to assume we're going to get
the cutest little photo of Vlad today.
Did you?
On through my Twitter. It's him when his dad was, I guess, on the Expos, and he's just holding his little hat.
Yeah.
Over his little chest, and I was like, wow, you're just a little stud, aren't you?
Yeah. Now, I tweeted out a couple days ago because I was bored. I just wanted to see things rip off a little bit. So this is still my opinion, but
on the tweeter,
I believe that the Jays would benefit more from signing Freddie Freeman than they would trading for Jose Ramirez. Now, a lot of that got took out of context a little bit. And people are like, well, Jose Ramirez is a perfect fit for this team. He's a better player. All that's true. It's all true. He's the better fit. And if we're looking at 2 free agents, then I would absolutely bring in Jose Ramirez.
You're not.
But you're not. And the cost to acquire Jose Ramirez, from what it sounds right now, is high. Like, you're talking 2 roster players and 3 prospects for one guy that's here for 2 years. I love Jose Ramirez and what he brings to the game, but I don't like dismantling your roster in order to bring him in and then mortgaging the future on it too, personally.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with that. I think the only thing now, though, is that you're kind of guessing again at third base.
Absolutely.
It depends on what avenue you want to go, because you could run into this point where if Vlad says, I want to try it, and let's just say he's no good.
Vlad was astronomically bad at third the last time he played that in 2019.
So then you have Freddie, Freeman, and Vladimir Guerrero, who are either at first base
or DH,
or who have to DH. I get that.
Cool.
So you've lost. I guess here's the thing, though. Marcus Semien leaving now almost opens that door. Yep. Because your DH spot is now open.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Vlad to me wants to be an everyday guy. You know,
I get that.
And that's the thing, is like DH for him is just, it's almost like an insult.
Yeah.
It's almost like, why are you just limiting me to being the big home run hitter? Like, dude, I'm showing you that I want to be an everyday guy.
I heard the argument a couple times too, is like, oh, the last time Vlad was at third base, he was bad. Like, he didn't play defense well. Like, yeah, the last time Vlad was at third base, he couldn't hit worth a shit either. Like, we're talking about a very different Vladimir Guerrero now than we were back when he was playing in 2019. Like, he's a different looking human.
Dude, Vlad has also have a couple more years in the league. Like,
he's a little more seasoned. He's seen a lot more ground balls.
Right, exactly. And I know, like, you know, it's totally different because you're on the hot corner. Like, things come opposite sides.
It's hard. It's a hard position. So is first. First is not an easy position to play.
And the thing that I'm kind of seeing as well with this league is that things are going long, things are going fly ball, things are going, and even if they do kind of crack it, right? Like, if you hit it, like, a lot of guys are able to leg out those amazing plays now, right? Like, the Manny Machados, the Josh,
you got to get that ball off quick,
right? But Vlad will never have that arm. Okay, that's what we need to understand, is that
Vlad's got a cannon.
Okay,
it's
but
just
to
not
have
accurate.
that, that's what I'm saying, though. To have that Machado, you know,
I don't know if we can say that with any confidence. I don't know if we can say with any confidence what Vladimir Guerrero currently would be at third base anymore, because we don't even
to get that, though. Like,
what
you're never going to get that, though, is what I'm saying, is that you're never going to get that. So, like, what you can do then is just, if he plays serviceable, which is something that you haven't had at third base, then that's it, right? So that's all I'm saying. It's got to be
average. At third base.
Vlad's arm doesn't need to get there, and I don't expect it to. But even if he's over there and he can turn a double play or get that, like, that standard out, then okay, great.
I'm not worried. I don't know what Vladimir Guerrero is at third base right now. Like, Vladimir Guerrero in 2020 was a terrible first baseman, like atrociously terrible. And it still came into 2021, and he could have been nominated for a Gold Glove. That's how good he was.
And it's still a platoon position with Cabin there. I get it. I'm understanding of that. You still have Espinal, who, you know, and like,
exactly. Sandy can come in and play good defense when you need him.
Who knows what years they're going to have as well. It's a new year for them.
Exactly.
My only thing that I will say
Freddie
is that
Freeman can play third too.
Can he?
Yeah, he's played third like multiple years. Like, it's doable, and you can rotate them through and keep them all in positions that they want, and you get them an off day every other day. That's fantastic.
I mean, if I have an opportunity to get Freddie Freeman, I feel like I'd rather have that.
I'm not saying no to Freddie Freeman.
This is what I'm saying. I'd rather have him than not have him, right? Like,
exactly.
If
the
he's
lineup
within
is
the
better
money
with
range,
Freddie Freeman than it is without him.
If he's within the money range, then for sure. And you know what? This is a guy who is a Canadian by choice. By choice, he plays for Team Canada. By choice, yeah, whatever. He can be an honorary Canadian. Are you kidding me? If he joins the Blue Jays, people are gonna freak out more than when Donaldson did. They're gonna lose their mind because it's gonna be
Freddie Freeman is a way nicer guy.
Exactly.
I love Josh Donaldson, but Freddie Freeman is an angel. It's a guy you want on your team every day of the week. And, like, I understand that it doesn't make the defense ideal, and it moves your franchise player over and kind of messes around with him.
Or maybe it doesn't.
But if he is fine with it, Like, obviously, this move hinges on what Vladimir Guerrero wants to do. If
Maybe
Vladimir Guerrero doesn't give a
first.
shit, which I don't think Vladimir Guerrero gives a shit, I think he'll be fine. Then you make the move.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
I think, like, honestly, yeah, I think that you'd rather have, and you can make substitutions throughout games now, right? Hey, we need to be defensively better. So, like, you know, and injuries happen. This is 162 games of like a grind, an absolute grind. I don't think I can name you a player who hasn't gone through some sort of strain, some sort of contusion, some sort of anything that's kept them out for a game plus, right? Sometimes you're 10 days, sometimes you're 20 days. Like, it just, who knows?
Depth is nice. Now,
having 6 fucking all-stars on the team is great. I love that.
I'm never going to say no to more good players. It's just, I don't know.
Did the Yankees not do the same thing?
Why is Dodgers literally just sign guys and find somewhere to put them?
They had Corey Seager, Trey Turner.
They turned Max Muncy into like one of the best first basemen in the league. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
I don't get it, man.
It's
just
so
sign the best players available.
Exactly, because that's how baseball works.
Can you trade for J-Ram? Absolutely. Hey, I think it's a good move. I think if they trade for J-Ram without giving up too much, I love it. I love every part of it. But I can get Freddie Freeman for just money. That's it. That's all it costs you.
And more.
And everyone's like, oh, well, it's going to be expensive. Yeah. Okay. There's no such thing as money in baseball.
It's also going to be 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
It's also going to be.
It is the last 5 years of his career. So, yeah, maybe you're a little concerned. And I get that. I see the issues on both sides. Yeah, just that. Who cares?
Who cares?
You know how easy it is to dump contracts in baseball?
You have got to push your chips in at one point or another, right? Absolutely. This team has been building to do so. You're right. They got, and especially where they are offensively, they definitely should have been in the playoffs for me. You know, they're the best team that
they were a playoff team last year.
They're the best team that didn't make it, right? Everybody feared them. Nobody wanted to play them, and that's exactly what you want. And I feel now they kind of got
their rotation's nasty,
right? Which a lot of people are going to underestimate.
Yeah,
because
their bullpen's getting pieces in it.
Because here's the thing: Robbie Ray walked away, right? Okay, and then
Steven Matz is gone.
Steven Matz, right? And everybody keeps questioning, how is this rotation going to look? Like, dude.
But now you get Gausman in there.
They have Gausman in there. They have JB is here for fucking. He is here.
And Manoah's here with a half a season under his belt. Right. Maybe Ryu bounces back. Like,
but even still, man, dude, if you want me to say that Ryu's going to come in as my third or fourth, thank you. That's better than anything we presented.
We're talking about a Cy Young candidate 2 years ago.
Yes, this is better than anything that we've presented. You're also talking about a gamer in Ryu because he changed after Tommy John. He changed the whole way that he pitches.
Mm-hmm.
And he still was a Cy Young candidate. Like, he's unreal.
Does Freddie Freeman cost you a lot of money? Yes. Does that lot of money really hurt you? I don't think so, man. Like, you have enough money to spend it on Freddie and to re-sign Bo and Vlad.
Honestly, hike my fucking taxes. I don't care. You're doing it anyways. So let's just go. Let's build this team.
The thing. I don't care how much money the Blue Jays spend. They can spend $3 billion for all I care. It's not my money. I'm not here complaining about how much money the Blue Jays are spending because there's no cap and it's not my money. Plain and simple. Like, if they want to go out and spend $400 million on a team, they go out and spend $400 million on a team. The only thing I care about is whether or not there's a championship here for the next 5 years.
There is a reason why soccer teams have, like, the rich get richer because they pile money. Exactly. They spend dollars after dollars after dollars with no worry in mind. As long as they're winning, that's it.
Yeah. Rogers isn't hurting for money.
No.
I promise you that they're not hurting for money. They can dish out a couple more $1 million to sign Vlad and Bo long term.
They keep upping my internet bill. Like, I'm sure somewhere that's got to go to something, man. You know?
God, talk to Netflix. They keep upping charges.
You say it's not your money, but it is kind of our money. So put it to the team.
Exactly. I spent enough on Rogers. Give me Freddie Freeman.
Put it to the team. I'm going to make a request. I'm going to call Rogers myself.
I want a 10-year deal for Vlad, and I want Freddie Freeman. Go. Take it out of the money that.
What an absolute travesty that will be if he walks away. Just saying. If Vlad ever is not offered anything.
I don't think he will. He's way too loved here.
Give that kid the moon. I don't care.
Give him 2 moons.
He wants to be prime minister. Absolutely.
For sure.
I don't care.
Canadian? Hey, maybe you do a better job. There's not very many good candidates right now. Maybe Vlad will be one.
Make it all about baseball. I don't care. Sports.
That's so fun. Yeah.
Dude.
Hey, we said we were going to talk about it last week.
We did.
Super Bowl is this weekend. We did talk about it last weekend, but whatever. Super Bowl is on Sunday. It's the best day of the year. I'll say it.
It's fucking.
It's fun.
You think it's the best day of the year?
It's up there. I don't know. It's a fun day. Like there's never been a bad Super Bowl day. I don't find.
You know,
some people say it's overrated, but I don't know. I've never had a bad Super Bowl day.
I think I've only spent one Super Bowl at work, and it was the New England LA Rams one, which I'm kind of happy for because that
was a garbage game, anyways.
That was a real slow game, and that was I think the only one that I've actually missed watching in like a very like, you know, in a very like energetic setting.
Yeah. Everything other than that, you get together with some people, have some drinks, have some food. It's a good time. I don't know. I can't remember a bad Super Bowl.
No, honestly, if I think more ahead in my life, I'm gonna start taking the Monday off. I'm gonna start making it like a 4-day.
Not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember bad Christmases. One Christmas I had fucking pneumonia. I didn't even get up. Like I don't know. I've had some bad Christmases. It happens. Some days you just don't get what you want. You're like, oh well, shit. Like, it was good. Thanks, appreciate it. But I really wanted such and such.
It's an avocado.
It's an avocado. Yeah, you have those days. It is what it is. Sometimes your birthday sucks dick. It happens. Honestly, the older you get, the more your birthday sucks.
Super Bowl has actually never
Super Bowl
sucked.
Unless your team actually, you know what? I did watch the Carolina Panthers blow it to the Broncos because Cam Newton was afraid to dive on a ball.
But that
one sucked.
But I had
fun.
And it's emotion. It's emotional, and
you're right.
You're competitive in it. Yeah, dude, trust me.
You're right.
I remember I half remember the Patriots versus Atlanta. I remember I had to rewatch it because I got so trashed at the half. I was like, I am fucking done with this. There's no way.
Depressing first half. I get it.
Sure. And then I think honestly, like the parts I remember are their comeback for sure. Cause you know, you start coming back to, and you're just kind of like sobering up. I'm like, I know I got to actually figure out how to stumble home.
Yeah.
And then I remember obviously seeing it all, and then boom, you know, we win. It's fucking energetic. But I just remember just like halfway through, you're like, fuck it. I'm done with it. And that's the joy about Super Bowl.
It's fun.
The ups and downs. Even the last time that we were together, which was San Fran and KC. Mm-hmm. I think you were the only one rooting San Fran.
I was.
And they were so close the whole time.
Yeah.
I think you and I think
Kevin was on my side.
I was going to say, Kev, I think said San Fran as well.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
So close too.
I know.
Still hurts.
Okay. With all of this being said, can I just say that I am incredibly worried that we are going to get a very
boring Super Bowl?
A very mediocre
3-0 Super Bowl.
No. Here's the thing. I almost think it's going to be in the blowout direction.
42-6.
Oh, dude, okay. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I have this feeling that, you know, because we have had Super Bowl after Super Bowl that have just been like
great
right there.
Other than that Rams one.
Right.
Actually,
but
you know what the Rams one was
that, like 13-10? Like what the fuck? Yeah, that's like, it's just a slow game, but everything was still close.
The last blowout was the Seahawks, wasn't it? Didn't the Seahawks shit all over somebody?
What, when they won?
Yeah.
Maybe.
One of them, not the one they lost, obviously, but I think the one before that.
Hang on, I'll look it up because that's the thing though is I don't remember. You know, there's a lot of things that I remember. Like all of the New York Giants ones were fucking right there.
They were tight. The helmet catch was in there.
Right.
Remember like the Hines Ward catch in that Pittsburgh game?
Yes.
Like those type of things.
The Hines Ward catch. Now that I'm not an employee there, I watched in Bob Johnson's office. We opened that man's door to his little TV with this other dude. And we watched that, and everybody in the rink knew, and they would just come and knock on the door when there was 5 minutes left. Yeah, no, they would come watch, and then they'd tell us when there's 5 minutes left in the real game that we had to go run to the back and go. So but funny. Yeah, so there you go. I worked it too, but I remember I watched it. So
what was
31-9? I guess 31-9. I guess last year, but even still, like maybe Patrick Mahomes just made me think
31-9 last year.
Yeah, it was 31-9 last year.
Wow.
Oh, New England was 13-3 as well. See,
but that was still close. That's a 10-point game, and like it was not high scoring ever.
Okay,
so it felt tight the whole game.
Philly, New England is Philly. Like
right, that was tight as shit.
Yeah, 41-33 was the final. 34-28 Atlanta. The
that was nuts.
Denver, Carolina was 24-10.
That hurt. Yeah, we don't need to remember that one.
No. Oh, you know
what? It was a good game. It got ugly at the end.
The last blowout for me was the Seattle versus Denver game, which was 43-8. 43-8 was their final. So
that was the one I was thinking of, where he just shit pumped him.
It almost feels like this is gonna be like, because even still, all those games I named, even though they were out, there's still like one or two plays that I was like, I'm invested in.
Where was the New England Seattle on that one too? That was a ridiculous game. Yeah,
20-24.
Was that after Denver?
That was the game. That was just the one after Denver. So it was Seattle, Denver, the 43-8, and then it was the Malcolm Butler interception.
Mm-hmm. Okay, which was crazy because it was the Tyler Lockett catch just before it, right?
On Malcolm Butler,
where he like fell and somehow came up with the ball, and I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna do this. They have Marshawn Lynch,
and that's the first time that I listened to sound bites, and you can hear on the sideline. Maybe they clipped it to be cool, but I'm pretty sure Malcolm Butler's on the sideline at first, and somebody's yelling "Malcolm, go!" to get out there. And it's just like when you hear it, you kind of hear that moment, and it's like, oh my god, that gave me a little bit of chills. I was like, dude, he gets called out there, and then he makes the play. Like that read was unreal. We almost hit the bait. We're in the basement.
That was the last good thing he ever did, but. It was
me and my buddy who's 6'9", we both jumped out of our seats as Patriots fans and almost hit the ceiling together, and it was like unbelievable.
Yeah, you can't jump out of your seat.
No, but that's the thing is like we're head in our laps. We're like down. We're like, okay, man, like Tom Brady.
It should have been over.
We're like Tom Brady has
the strong. You had the Derrick Henry at the time. Like he just walked through lines like it was nothing.
You had the Marshawn Lynch in beast mode.
Just hand him the ball.
Full of Skittles.
4 down.
Full of Skittles, and you go throw, which the Patriots knew too. The Patriots said they've been working on screen passes.
Just embarrassing.
All week, and it just like boom. And then everyone was worried too that Tom Brady wasn't going to get out of the end zone because they had like a yard or two to go. And they're like, no, they're fine. He's going to just find his way through.
What's his name got flagged? Michael Bennett.
Yeah.
He got flagged on that play too. Because they're like, oh, well, they could get him here and get the safety. And then he got flagged. Like,
I know. Wasn't the other Bennett on the? No, I don't think Martellus Bennett was there yet.
No.
Oh yeah, maybe he was. Yeah,
I think they played each other.
Yeah, I think Martellus Bennett was there.
I just remember Michael Bennett taking the stupid ass penalty.
Oh man,
he went out. It was a false start or offside.
Oh yeah,
whatever it is.
One of those.
Stupid, just bonehead.
But either way.
So, anyways, there's a game.
I have the fear of this Sunday being one of those games, being a 43-8 game. Okay.
I mean, I would love to. I would love to be on your side. Because
know my stat?
Yeah, because the Rams are going to get through at Joe Burrow every single time he has the ball, and I understand that.
There has to be 0 play actions, because if that man does anything else but get rid of that ball in 3 seconds, he's dead.
But he could do that. He has that ability.
And here's another thing, though. If Joe Burrow goes down out of this game, you're fucked.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
You're fucked.
If he gets hit the wrong way, it's going to be bad. But that'll happen on either side. If Matt Stafford goes down on the other side, you're fucked.
Okay.
They don't have the run game. I like Cam Akers. He's not good enough to carry that offense. If you can't get the ball to Cooper Kupp, you're fucked.
But they have Cooper. Cooper Kupp is king of the 5-yard route. Cooper Kupp is king of the. I'm gonna have a screen.
Getting open and being there. But you still got to see that.
Sean McVay is an absolute genius in getting people open. I talked about it. He ran a flea flicker tight end screen and got it for a first down and some. I'm pretty sure. Like, this is where this guy's head's at. If you're not gonna legitimately get Cooper Kupp the ball, he's gonna let OBJ throw the damn ball then.
John Wolford.
Awesome. Sounds like a fucking winner to me.
That's going to be, no. You're banking on your quarterback staying in the game if you're on either side.
Right.
And but I agree with you.
Offensive line more, man. There's nobody.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not.
Do you know who the most hit quarterback was this year?
Probably Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Well, I get that. So he's used to it. That's all that tells me is he's been hit a lot. He can get hit a lot more.
Aaron Donald, Von Miller.
Sure.
And anybody else
you're right. You're
send.
absolutely right. I agree 100% with what you're saying. But the Bengals do have a lot of guys that don't need a lot of space. You give Jamar Chase the ball anywhere and he'll make guys miss. You give T. Higgins the ball, he's going to make guys miss. You give Tyler Boyd the ball, he's going to make guys miss. Like, they have some dynamic receivers, and they have, I don't know if Uzoma's playing.
Jamar Chase is going to have the absolute hardest time of his life, though, because Jalen Ramsey is.
Jalen got cooked by Mike Evans.
Okay, one time for sure. And that's going to happen. If you're going to play one-on-one the whole time.
Jamar Chase is going to cook Jalen Ramsey.
You know what I guarantee they're never going to do? They're never going to send Eric Weddle to cover one,
Nope.
You keep
that's
that man.
The thing is, you can lock up Jamar Chase, and that it hurts the offense. But like, I trust Tyler Boyd. I trust T. Higgins to do their job. And I'm like, if you have Uzoma too, like I think he's unbelievable on those short little passes that get you first down. And then you have Joe Mixon who can be dynamic as shit. When they inevitably get through the O-line, you throw a screen pass out to Joe Mixon and he knows how to make guys mix. I don't know if I trust them to win this game because that's a lot to overcome. Don't get me wrong. But if there's any team that was ever going to do it, it seems like the team that's just magically walking into the Super Bowl might be the team to do it.
Are they magically walking in?
They're kind of magic.
You know what's funny though? Because it seems like
Pat Mahomes.
Right. But as soon as Cincinnati was in the playoffs, I can't tell you how many people are.
I was all in.
I was all in. They were going like,
yeah. They were down 17
I get that.
to the team that a lot of people thought was going to win the Super Bowl. I don't know. I thought they had a good chance when they get the Bengals too. Up 17 at the half. And they came back and won. That's magic.
No, their kicker has just got stones of steel. So I don't
Evan Cahone's
they win all the time. Yeah, they win all the time. It doesn't matter as long as you have him. But anyways,
cash money.
I just think that there's so much on the other side. There's the matchups are just it's too easy almost. Like why is everything looking? If I
do see Matt Stafford.
If we're gonna say LA Rams because of this, and this, and then your response is, well, Joe Burrow. Like,
I think the Rams are going to win the game, but I don't know if it's gonna be as big of a blowout as you would think. Just because Joe Burrow has the ability to get over that because he's been hit. He knows how to get hit. He's done it all year.
Has also got stumped by Kansas City for 2 quarters.
And then dismantle them in the second half. They learn. Absolutely. He's really good at learning, and I think that's where he's gonna make it.
It's a tough game to learn.
The Rams are a terrible second half team right now. Every game they've played, they've been dog shit in the second half.
But if you want to talk about clutch moments,
they had the one.
Look no further than Matt Stafford.
That's what makes me think it's gonna be a game because they get out so hot and then they just tail off.
I just feel like Matt Stafford is also playing almost like
we're back-to-back weeks with technical difficulties. You love to see it.
Okay.
Where were we?
I know that everybody booked Joe Burrow's here because he's the 22-year-old or 20, what is it, 24, 23, who knows? 20-year-old in his 20s.
He's your age. No, he's a year younger than you. He's in between us.
Is he?
Yeah. I think.
He's 20.
He's a 95. He's a 95.
26. He's 26 years old.
95, yeah.
You know what? He went through all 4 years of school. Yeah, that makes sense.
And he missed an entire year of last year. Like, it feels like his rookie season. Sorry, he's a 96. He's my age. He's 25.
Okay.
He's going to be 26.
Okay. I just think that if we look at who the better quarterback is, man, I got to give it to Matt Stafford. I love Joe Burrow.
I think Matt Stafford is incredibly underrated in this league. And like, he's been one of the best for a while and nobody gives him the credit he deserves. But now he's there.
And he has Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. It's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be.
No,
there's a chance. It's possible.
I just think it is.
I see your point.
Yeah.
I don't disagree necessarily, but I think Joe Burrow has a
I hope I'm wrong. Like, I hope you're wrong too. I hope, because then I'm watching the game and I got a good
chunk of change coming my way if you're wrong. So.
If not, then I'm just eating chili all night. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not opposed. Have a good night, drink beers.
Have some nacho dip again. We're bringing that back.
Eat food.
That's coming back. Don't you worry.
Absolutely. Like, what? There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, the Niners didn't win the last time we did.
Also, can I just say that I'm super duper hyped for this halftime show?
Oh my God. Yeah.
This is almost as exciting as when J-Lo and Shakira came out.
It's almost, not quite.
No.
Shakira was pretty good.
We were around. We were all there. Everyone saw it.
We watched it again.
We watched it twice.
Yeah. It was a good time. No sense in watching them break down the game that we already saw.
Just watch Shakira and J-Lo again.
Run it back. Yeah. That was fun. But this one's good. Yeah.
Eminem, Dr. Dre, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg.
Oh my!
So, is this halftime show going to be? Is it going to be 4 hours?
It might just be the game. They might just do a full quarter of. They might do just a different one in between each quarter. Shut it down, bring them up.
Do what I said. Just have it go down to kickers. They move back from 25, 30, and that's it. That's our Super Bowl. We watch the halftime show.
Watch the halftime show. No, because Evan McPherson would demolish Matt Gay. Demolish him.
Is it Matt Gay?
I'm pretty sure it's Matt Gay.
Ooh, I thought Matt Gay was.
I'm like 90% sure it's Matt Gay.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna fact.
Could be wrong.
I thought Matt Gay was in Tampa Bay.
No, that's I don't actually know who's Tampa Bay.
It's Matt Gay.
Yeah, just get Matt Gay.
Matt Gay is on this team.
See,
Johnny Hecker is their punter.
Johnny Hecker.
He's been on that team for a while. Matt Gay. Did Matt Gay come from?
I don't know where Matt Gay came from. I thought he was always a Ram.
Tampa Bay. No, I don't know.
I thought he was always a Ram, but I could be wrong. I don't follow kickers all that close. I'm going to be honest.
I used to follow. What was his last name? King.
Okay.
He played for Oakland.
Okay.
And he was just fun.
Yep.
He was just exciting to watch.
I like to watch
the ball all day long.
I like to watch my boy Young Hui Koo because he's just filthy. Obviously Evan Cajone's Money McPherson.
I do enjoy it.
Blast right now.
I do enjoy a good Justin Tucker. I almost said Josh Tucker. I don't know.
Justin Tucker is
Justin Tucker.
Electric.
Because the kick that I remember most about him was the kick he missed for Baltimore, New England. Again,
because they were talking about him too, about like how he never misses, and then he missed.
And then he misses it. And then after that, he went on this burner of just not missing anything. Yeah. No. And he was hitting things left, right, and center. Yeah.
Justin Tucker's electric.
Justin Tucker.
Hot Rod's electric. But other than that, I don't know.
Hey, Nick Folk.
Joey Sly is a lot of fun just because like he looks like a machine.
Rodrigo Blankenship.
Yeah, Hot Rod.
My favorite. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. But I'm going back. He's one of my favorite college kickers ever.
Dude, Georgia. Ice in his veins there too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You know what? Some kickers are fun.
Yeah. We'll give them. I think we're getting more of a respect. We're an inclusion to all kind of podcast here where we like the kicker just as much as we like.
Hey, we're a kicker podcast. I'm a fan. Super Bowl pick. You got the Rams. Obviously,
I gotta take the Rams. I would love to hop on the Cincinnati. And you know what? When we watch it, I will be on your team Cincinnati for sure. We'll cheer to my little heart. Just
I think the Rams are gonna win. And like if I'm making a pick, it's the Rams. However, I'm cheering for the Bengals. I really want to see that Super Bowl.
And that's what's so exciting about this Super Bowl. Yeah. Even last year's and even the year before that, man. Honestly, it has given me so much joy not having Patriots Super Bowls, as arrogant as that sounds.
So much more fun.
As arrogant as that sounds to me.
It's better for the world that there's no Patriots Super Bowl.
It's better for the world. Now, don't last long. I expect a big turnaround.
No, I don't want to see that.
Anyways, I want Mac Jones.
They can have like a quarter century of disappointment now. It'd be great.
No, but you know what I mean? Like you go into Super
I know
Bowl
exactly what you mean.
And you're just like, yeah, I guess.
Yes, I do know what you mean. It is very nice to not see the Patriots.
Is this what it's like to be a comedy?
Yeah, welcome to being on the other side of things, pal.
I have no idea it could be this fun and this relaxing.
Yeah, wow. It's cool to see other teams succeed sometimes.
It's like being in the passenger seat of a road trip. Like you're just taking in all the scenery.
Wow, look at this Rams team. Yeah, wow, look how fun this Bengals team is.
I don't even care.
Look at this Super Bowl. Eminem.
Yeah.
Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
You want to ask me who played at any? You want to ask me who played at any of the halftimes when New England was there? I have no fucking idea.
No. Justin Timberlake? Was that one?
I don't know, but he ripped.
Were they at the? Were they?
I can't remember.
Was that a Patriot? I'm just gonna assume it was. I
feel like Prince has always been.
Was Coldplay?
Prince has been the best one. Weekend was last, wasn't he? Too? No, Weekend was last
year. Yeah, Coldplay
did one. Red Hot Chili Peppers, I'm pretty sure did one.
Oh, did they?
I think so.
I think Coldplay did the Patriots. I don't know if they did. I just assume that all of them are Patriots. Bruno Mars did one.
Yes.
That was probably a Patriots one. Beyonce. I remember Katy Perry, I think it was, riding.
They had Bieber there.
That was dumb.
I can't remember if Bieber was there.
Bieber's done.
I don't think Bieber's done a Super Bowl. He knows.
Surprised. He's just too big. Like there is such thing as being too big for the Super Bowl half.
Dude, the Rolling Stones played many Super Bowls. Don't tell me too big.
But that was a different time. Nah. That's a different time. You've hit a spot now where I think like you can be too big for the Super Bowl. Because why? Like, you don't get paid as much.
Are you fucking serious? Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg?
They're kind of on this part of their career, though.
Like, no. They are very much.
I mean, Dre is just always at the peak, but like
Eminem
musically, like what? Like Eminem is putting out albums, but Eminem's not what it used to be.
No, there was somebody dated me a couple weeks ago when they asked me if I knew Eminem. They said, have you heard of Eminem? And I looked at them just with this face. And I visually could, I could literally feel myself just getting older by the second. I felt all my gray hairs just come busting out. I was like, wow, I just got asked if I knew who Eminem was. Like, yeah, of course I know fucking Eminem.
Yeah, that was my childhood, sir.
Exactly. You want to know why dyeing your hair blonde was cool?
Yeah.
Want to know why you didn't get made fun of?
No, that hurts.
What's up, real Slim Shady? Like, yeah.
We're not even old, but we're old.
I'm 27, people. I'm in the
something happened in like the generation below us that just made everyone feel like we're old.
Yeah, I
don't get it. I don't remember feeling like mid-20s people were that old.
No. And at the same
time,
when
I was in high school, I wasn't looking at people that were in their 20s like, wow, that guy's ancient.
I thought they were just
let's go have a beer with that guy.
Exactly. I thought they were able to do more shit than I was.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, he can drink in bars. That's cool.
How are you so adult? You know, like you're an adult. You're not old. You're just an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you still?
You just vote.
Yeah. Hey, that's good for you.
You're me, but with the right to vote and the ability to drink publicly.
Yeah. Not mine. Yeah. No. Fuck.
Weird.
I felt old. I felt discouraged.
Yeah.
But yes, for the record, fans, I know who Eminem is.
Right. Yes. I also know who Dre is.
Dre? Yeah, Dre came first, actually.
Right.
Believe it or not, everybody.
Dre brought all of the rest of them in.
Dre probably is the reason why everybody in the rap game exists.
Yeah. I watched this documentary. It's called The Defiant Ones. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you've seen it. It came out in 2017, but it's about him and Jimmy Iovine.
Okay.
And it is really cool to see just like everything. Because like, obviously, Straight Outta Compton was the movie that came out. You kind of saw what Dre did, but like it was a movie, and it was a little. It's like but like this one was a legitimate documentary of just like along the way of all the things he did, and it was really cool to see like the impact he has on just hip hop in general.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Unbelievable, but it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
And he I think he kind of influenced a lot of people being like businessmen as well outside of it, right? Like he is not just a one-trick pony, you know what I mean? Like he has created
for $3.5 billion to Apple.
He has created a market for himself, right?
Nuts, man. Nuts.
Like, dude, he's a very intelligent businessman. So yeah, dude.
Rams both ways. Go Bengals though. That's final words on the Super Bowl. Did you see Trevor Zegras' goal? Obviously, you have.
I don't want to talk about that. Who the fuck's paying those referees to give Alex Pietrangelo the fucking crown after Trevor Zegras goes does it to perfection, even with the dodgeballs flying at him?
God.
And the
greatest goal you'll ever see.
Tell me how many people can do that move with their eyes open? Go.
I can't.
Tell me how many people you know that can do that move.
Tell me how many people in the NHL could do that with their eyes open. I don't think there's many.
With his eyes closed. And we gave him not even a silver. We gave him nothing. He walked home with nothing. You know what he walked home with?
Somebody didn't give him a 10.
You know what he got from that? He got in shit because he was seen drinking at 20 years old in a. That's what he got. You know what he got? He got some fucking garbage.
Hey, the guy just scored the craziest goal in NHL history. At least let him have his first beer.
You know what that said?
First beer.
First beer.
Absolutely.
First beer.
It's his first beer.
He needed to understand what drinking away your sorrows was like for the very first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Very first time. Yeah.
Let him celebrate a little.
Being in Las Vegas at the All-Star game, I think gives you a free pass.
Oh, it gave Alvin Kamara a free pass.
Not anymore.
Nope.
Gave him a sentence pass, I think.
Yeah.
Apparently he could face up to 5 years. I don't ever see it. You know, he's a celebrity.
He won't, but
yeah. But the fact that he could, I think he should.
I don't see why not.
Imagine this is your poster boy.
Dude. Yeah.
Take it.
That sucks.
Do you know the events that happened? Do you know actually what happened?
I'm not very sure on the story.
Because
I just know he got charged with battery.
I mean, if you're facing 5 years, you must have really
something happened.
battered that man.
Battered the shit out of someone.
You were Duracelling him, you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
You were like the Energizer bunny just kept going.
Took a little too many there. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the All-Star game sucked.
It always sucks. Can they just make it flag football?
The breakaway challenge, super cool. Having Alex Pietrangelo in it, super stupid. But like the thing itself was great. I think that was fun. The game was terrible. The 3 games, I guess you say, they were terrible. They were just boring. This is the first time that I've been like, this is just stupid.
Can I say that maybe the All-Star game should be less about the All-Star game and more just like an invite? Hey, this is our week. This is our week off. Mm-hmm. If you guys want to have the week off, have it. If you want to come and compete and all this shit, come and compete.
Be the Trevor Zegras.
You know what's going to happen? That's exactly what I was going to say. You're going to get the Trevor Zegras. You're going to get the Jordan Kyrus who are going to try to beat, beat so cool, the people. This, right? You're going to get the Jack Campbells who their first time there. Perfect. So much fun. Man, the Chris Kreider's goal on Vasilevsky. The no touch. Oh, yeah. And I kept thinking, I was like, oh yeah, Vasilevsky was the one that got burned. No, it was Braden Holtby that got burned by it.
Mm-hmm. Twice.
Twice. That's what I mean. And I kept thinking, for some reason in my head, that it was Vasilevsky. I was like, oh, he got burned on it again.
It was by Vasil's teammate.
And then I was like, no, Kucherov did it. So there's no way. He probably has been burned on it in practice. There's no way Kuch gets the confidence to go, hey, watch this. If you don't burn your own tendy.
Yeah. Now, one thing I do want to talk about coming out of that. I didn't make a lot of complaints about it when it had to do with Montreal because I don't really care. They lost. It is what it is. Andre Vasilevsky's chest protector is like it's a house. He could fit his children inside of his chest protector, I'm pretty sure. Because there's him and he's not a big dude, and you see it when he has his helmet off because he's very skinny. But he's like 9 feet tall. So yeah, okay. And his legs are 80% of his body.
He throws those things everywhere.
But the chest protector is like a truck.
It's up to code.
There's no way that's legal.
It's up to code, man.
I don't understand how.
Because it's up to code.
It's just a brick. Like it doesn't move.
I'm sure there's something that it's in the rules that it's based on your size, as in height. And it's got to be
height related.
And because his height is where it is, yeah, I feel that.
I don't know if he's that much taller than Jack Campbell, but he stood beside Jack Campbell because originally, like when you see the picture of him and Price, it looked like he was at a different angle. I'm like, it's camera. But then you see him and Jack Campbell side by side, and he could just smother Jack Campbell inside of him. You could fit Jack Campbell inside of Vasilevsky's chest protector. How is that legal? I just want to put it on the train now because I know Tampa's going to be the team that knocks out Toronto when we hit the playoffs. So I don't want to sound like the idiot bitching about it when he dominates us for 7 straight games. So yeah, screw that. I think they got to change that rule if it's within the rules.
Just want to see how tall the guy is. He's 6'3".
He's only 6'3".
He's 6'3". I mean, that's pretty tall.
But for a goalie, that's not that tall.
What do you think,
Jack Campbell?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up.
I know, like,
one thing we didn't really talk about, Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
Testing positive after the
did he? I actually didn't hear.
Yeah. Jack Campbell's 6'3". That's hilarious.
Exactly. Like, it makes no sense, man.
Is it just
I don't
me,
understand.
Or has everybody else thought Vasilevsky's like 6'7"?
I thought he was 9 feet tall.
Did I not relate him to Ben Bishop's size? And him and Jack Campbell are the same.
They're the same height, but he's double the width. How?
Oh. There's got to be something.
I'm sorry, Montreal fans. Now, because like I didn't make much of it back then. I'm like, whatever. You're just bitter you lost. No, that's a joke. No wonder he's won 2 Vezinas.
I'm gonna say goalie pass.
He's the whole net. That's
fans upset with Vasilevsky's equipment and dumbest controversy.
No, I think it's legitimate. I'm starting to get on the train now. Because like I think Vasilevsky is the best goalie in the NHL. But I think this is why. It's a lot easier to make saves when you cover most of the net. I'm angry.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just now I'm reading it.
No, that's okay.
And so I think even a ref said, man, he looks huge.
He's huge. That's what I mean. Like, what are we doing here?
You know what? I was expecting maybe like Jack Campbell was like 6'1", Vasilevsky's
No, they're
like
the
6'3".
same damn
Oh,
height.
they're the fucking same name.
What the hell, man?
What's the weight though? I think Vasilevsky was
I hope he's
two.
100 pounds more.
No, I think he was 235. I think he actually weighed more.
Who? Vassal?
Vasilevsky. I think
Weighs
Jack
more
Campbell.
than Jack? Or
Yeah, I
Jack
think
weighs more?
Jack Campbell came in at like 207, and I think Vasilevsky came in at 225. So he's got an extra.
It's not that much.
That's 20 pounds, man.
Yeah, it's not double. He's not 400 pounds. It's
Maybe
the
I'll
whole
just
like
ask.
the fact that like the chest protector's up here too, and like his head just looks like it's like sinking in his own equipment. And then there's just block. It's just a big block that just sits there. And he like, you ever seen the umpires that have like that pad that they hold out? That's what it looks like.
The first thing this says, perhaps this is a case of the camera adding 10 pounds. Why is it 10 pounds on one human on the same goalie?
I don't understand. I don't like it. So I'm starting this train now. I don't even care who they eliminate in the playoffs. So, when they move on to win the Stanley Cup and Vasilevsky puts up a .947 save percentage, I'm still going to be angry about it.
I didn't realize
he changes that fucking chest protector.
Vasilevsky is 5 pounds heavier than Price, but somehow looks like he's pregnant with quintuplets.
Yeah.
I need to dive more into this.
Yeah. I knew it was a thing, but I'm like, now I'm actually just angry.
2 goalies are both listed at 6'3". Okay. So it has to do with the positioning of the two in relation to the camera.
Whatever. Bullshit.
Oh, you know why? Because they're saying this. They're saying it's from.
Yeah,
this
I know that. See, that's the photo I saw. I'm like, okay, but you look at him straight on, and he looks like a house. He's a little house with the head that's just sinking into it. Just.
But if they're both 6'3",
like, this is straight up
there's no way Vasilevsky's 6'3", man. If they're both listed at 6'3", like Vasilevsky is looking down in his eyes, like he's looking down. So maybe his skates are like.
Maybe his skates are probably big. They're probably too big. He's probably got extensions in them. I don't know. I don't trust him. God.
I don't know. Like
I don't know either.
He still looks huge. It's funny. They gave, I don't know, this is not going to work, but they gave another angle and he still looks huge.
He's massive. He's just like he's not big front to back, but he's just wide. And he's not that wide of a human. I'd like to see him and Jack Campbell standing side by side. Like, but you see him in the post-game interviews and he's just skinny. He's not wide. I don't know. It's frustrating.
Dude, it's one like your eyes are playing tricks on you.
They're not. He's just big. I'm telling you. Like I watched that All-Star game and I watched him and Jack Campbell interact for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, this man is double the size of Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell must be short. But he's not. Stupid.
I'm just going through this now.
Yeah, I feel like we haven't talked about the Raptors and I'm sorry about that.
Oh.
But honestly, I just there's not really much new to say.
I'm hating
They're just really good.
I know, and I'm hating this like make a trade thing. To be honest with you,
we shouldn't be competing.
There's no, and that's what I'm saying though. There's no trade for me except for maybe getting rid of Dragic.
Yeah, that's the only one you
get rid of his contract. He never wanted to play.
Get some bench depth.
Even if you get a second round pick, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, okay.
I think you're giving up to get rid of Dragic because that contract's stupid. And he
kind of sucks. But he is on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, it sucks.
But even still, it's just like I'd rather.
I think he could help a team. I just don't think it's
team. But I'd rather play with what you have.
Yeah, I just think they do need depth because their starters are.
Oh, they need
an hour and a half a night.
And dude, when you go and actually look at this playoff run, you're gonna have to go through Joel Embiid and you're gonna have to go through Bam Adebayo, which are like no jokes at center. So like we're gonna get destroyed, right? As soon as you face them, that's it.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. They did a really good job of defending them. Not so much Joel, but being Adebayo didn't look as dangerous.
No, but still
But it's a lot to do for 7 games.
For 7 games, exactly.
But they've looked really good against the game's best lately, and I think they have a legit it sounds stupid, but they might have a legitimate shot in the East just because they match up really well with a lot of these teams in the East.
Yeah. Well, the
only one I'm scared of kind of is Brooklyn because they're so deep, but that's a team that's a team that can't play Kyrie at home or in Toronto. So they don't have Kyrie.
Brooklyn is too many eyes on me. You know what I mean? Brooklyn is too many people need to be focusing on me. Like Harden wants to be focused on.
Oh, Brooklyn also might get rid of Harden.
Right. Because he apparently wants out. Right.
Which is so wild.
KD, same deal. Like KD's injured. every now and again. Joe Harris, they're looking to get rid of, who was like their sixth man 3-point, like for sure. Blake Griffin is an absolute joke of an NBA player. Like he is doing nothing of what brought him into this league, and yet he's still somehow seen as this.
Stupid.
Apparently, Lamarcus Aldridge is 37,000 years old and just going from one team to the next now in his career. Like,
it's just that big three and then some supporting pieces. But like, I'm not as afraid of the big three when one of them turns into Ben Simmons and the other one can't play.
But for the Raptors, I'm not interested in mortgaging any future picks. I'm not interested in mortgaging like any future money because they're good in free. They are good in free agency, right? Like this is a team that is proving people wrong, and maybe one of those stars comes along and said, "Yeah, you know what? I can be the star of this team, right?
Just be the piece that puts that team over the edge. Why not?"
Exactly. And you don't need to do anything right now because you're not in contention to win, right? I think this just shows you that you're farther along than you actually thought you were.
Try telling that to like the diehard Raptor fans. They are.
I know
they're not gonna like that.
They're not gonna like what?
Like for some reason they think this is a championship team every single year. It's kind of like Leaf fans. It's the same thing. You look at the team, you're like, we're gonna win it all. But like
Fred VanVleet, dynamite, absolutely.
Phenomenal. Gary Trent Jr. lately.
Okay, because that man can play. That man can hit threes. However,
and he's playing defense.
But he can't play defense on a regular basis. What I'm saying, that bottom will drop playing defense right now. Playoffs are a whole different beast, man.
Maybe he's a new man. Also, his dad was talking, and like apparently Gary's just like invigorated with playing in Toronto. Like he loved it.
For sure.
Like he hated Portland, and he just loved everything.
Because this is a team that then put confidence in him and gave him a $17 million or whatever it was. Gave him millions of dollars when everybody else would have just gave him probably like a 1 year, $8 million deal, $7 million deal because he can shoot.
Yeah.
And Toronto said, no, man, we like.
Here's your money. And he's been great. I love him.
Yes.
Pascal's been great.
Pascal's come back to the same Pascal that you
OG's shown flashes of being great. Not consistently great, but just always good. Like always does a great job. Both sides.
I think unfortunately that it's almost like a competition between all these guys of whoever comes in fourth is going to be the odd man out. You know? And that's the thing.
They just look like they're having a bad game.
Right. And even in the sense of a trade then, right? If you look at it like Fred VanVleet, untouchable. Before Gary Trent started to get hot, that was the name that everybody kind of threw in. He might stay here though, because if you have a guy that can play, especially for that much money, you're here. Siakam, you kind of just threw a bunch of money at him. I know with OG as well, but this is what I'm saying, that you're giving all these excuses of like, well, we just threw money at you. But you need to change something, right? And I don't think that Pascal is going to go anywhere because he's such an anomaly of a player. Again, he kind of does have like that.
He's your max contract right now. Like he's the only one.
Exactly. I don't say he's the only one. I love Fred. I will give Fred whatever money that man wants, which Fred's is like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I cannot say a bad word about Fred. I actually had this thought today. I think that Fred VanVleet is the best representation of what a Toronto Raptor is throughout all history of what a Toronto Raptor is, right? Like Kyle Lowry.
That Kyle Lowry vibe.
For sure, right? But Kyle Lowry was traded here and embraced the culture. Fred
came up through here.
Look, man, you guys are going to draft me in the second round.
Arguably helped create the culture.
Right. Don't do it. I'm betting on myself, though. Like, that is exactly what you want, man. And I think it tops the DeRozan. It certainly tops the Carter, the McGrady. Like, definitely
tops the Kawhi.
This is what I'm saying. Like,
Kawhi's great, but he wasn't like a.
Kawhi did not even play 82 games here. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm not going to say anything on. I'm not hanging my hat on Kawhi.
I liked having him. I love the man. He brought he brought like the only championship I've ever seen in my lifetime back to Toronto.
I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, Kawhi. Exactly. However, though, if I'm remembering some of the great things about that team, though, it is the Kyle Lowry. It is the Fred VanVleet, right? It's the scream that Fred had. It's the 11 points that Kyle comes out with in game 6, right? Like it's for sure Philly, like the Philly basketball shot. You won't forget that.
Nope.
But you don't win a series with a third round shot.
No.
You win a series with
the grit that they had.
Finals performance. Yeah.
I mean, he was great. He was the reason we won.
Dude, he's Kawhi for sure. But Fred VanVleet, I'm not doubting that. I'm not doing that. Like I agree with you.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is that Fred VanVleet for me is like he is my all-time Toronto.
Yeah, no,
like he is the man.
I think he could end up being the guy by the end of the. If he gets one on his own, like if he can find a way to win one, like with this group eventually,
But he's shooting
definitely
better.
talk about him in that realm.
He shoots in the realm of Steph and Clay.
Yeah,
right? Like he has that confidence. So if you're telling me that you want someone to take a shot and you're saying that it's Steph Curry, then somebody coming along and saying, well, I want Fred VanVleet should not scare you. I know it does.
Scared of Fred.
Look at the percentages.
I don't like
the percentages don't lie, man. So what? Like we're not in the position where Nick Nurse is giving him that ball right then and there in the play, but we also haven't been in a lot of games where we're winning by that score.
You're up by a lot.
We're up big because they compete. They do everything. Right? You don't need a last second game saver from Fred because you've already done what you need to do to win the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're a fun team though, man. Scotty Barnes.
They're great. That whole group is just fun.
I can go on about it, man. I'm pumped about. I've actually been watching since
I've tuned in here and there. Because I don't watch a lot of basketball, especially regular season basketball.
No. But since the championship games of football went, I don't care about the Pro Bowl. I never watch any of that. So the last little week and a bit have just been straight basketball, and it's been great.
And Olympics. I watch a lot of that.
Yeah. No, I forgot how much I love basketball.
But yeah, I guess you're not awake for the Olympics, so basketball would make more sense.
No, I don't stay up for the Olympics. That's
yeah.
I'm an Olympic fan. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's great, but it's
I'm not a diehard.
Late. It's late. It's too late for me, and that's saying something.
I get up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. You can catch a lot on your way to work, which is.
I'm sure I could.
You could.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else that we missed. I think we did pretty good. We're gonna get after this episode and be like, oh yeah, we forgot to talk about the most important thing of the week.
Right. We always miss the most important thing. Did Tom Brady retire? Did we miss that?
No, but the Blackhawks did interview.
Shut up.
Shirley.
Yeah, there also is more stuff going on from.
Oh, we'll talk about the Blackhawks more next week. We don't need to get into them.
And I'm gonna let this simmer maybe at the end. Trevor Bauer.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
Yeah, I don't really want. I saw that. No. I didn't really want to get into it. It's just. I
think that's it.
That's a mess. Yeah. If you're still here, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. As always, you can follow us at BNB_Brant and BNB_Brandon on. Brandon's just on Twitter. But I'm on everything else.
Twitter's been hot.
Yeah. Brandon's fucking throwing out the fire on Twitter. So if you're looking for a good follow, that's one. You can check out more of our content and our merch at theasports.com. You can follow the A Sports at the A Sports, and you can follow our podcast at EHBNB Pod on pretty much everything. So yeah, we appreciate you. Thanks for listening. It should be in the links. We'll find out. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully, we'll see. Cheers.